In this video, we're going to go over how to create grid lines. Grid lines can be created in any 2D view, such as a plan or elevation. So right now I'm in the north elevation of this structure, and I'm going to create a grid line. To do this, I'm going to go to the Architectural tab, and then in the Datum panel, select Grid. It's going to ask me where I would like to start this grid line. I'm going to click some random point down here, and then I'm going to click to show how tall I want my grid line to be. You'll notice that this grid line, Revit tried to assume what number I was for and assumed 4. Well, that's incorrect. I want it to be 1. So I'm going to click Escape a few times to get out of the Create Grid command, select the grid, go over to the Properties panel, and change its name from 4 to 1. Similar to the levels, I can adjust the length of the grid, in fact, using this open dot. When in 3D mode, it changes the length of it in all different views. So for instance, I'm in the north elevation. If I hop over to the south elevation, that the grid line is still short because when I modified it, it was in 3D mode. If I switch to 2D mode and then grab the control point to drag and make it longer, it only changes it in this south elevation and it will leave the north elevation untouched. So depending on what you're looking for, if you just change a single view or all the views, you may or may not want this to be in 2D or 3D mode. Similar to level, you can add an elbow with squiggly line control, and you can change its actual location by clicking on the temporary dimension and typing in a correct dimension. Now in this case, it's making it relative to the end of this wall, so if I wanted it relative to something else, I'd have to use one of the advanced annotation that we'll talk about in a future video. And that's how you create grid lines.